Okay, so I'm going to just start admitting people. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're just starting to admit everyone from the waiting room. Welcome. We're so happy that you are all here with us this evening. Lovely to see you all. And we'll get started in just a minute here. Okay. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Jennifer Giacomo-Khan. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the Outreach and Public Engagement Coordinator at Stamps Gallery, which is part of the Penny W. Stamps School of Art and Design at the University of Michigan. I am pleased to welcome you all here this evening to the closing reception and award ceremony for Envision, the Michigan Artists Initiative, which is currently on view at Stamps Gallery until January 22nd. Thank you for being here with us tonight. This event was originally planned to take place in person, but due to a variety of factors, the Stamps Gallery decided to move these festivities to an online format late last week. This week, we've been working hard to create a virtual program that could take the place of an in-person celebration. So thank you again for your patience and understanding as we move through the evening. That said, Stamps Gallery is open to the public, and we invite you to come see the exhibition in person during gallery open hours. Gallery hours are Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So please come and visit us very soon. For more information and details, please visit our Stamps Gallery webpage on the Stamps School of Art and Design website that we will put in the chat for you to check out. Please note this event is being recorded this evening, so if you do not want to be in the recording, turn off your video. Also, please keep yourself on mute throughout the event tonight unless you're speaking, and note that you can access live captioning using the button on the top of your Zoom window. For those of you who have not been to Stamps Gallery before, Stamps Gallery is a professionally run art gallery that functions as an incubator and lab for contemporary artists and designers to explore ideas and projects that catalyze social change. Building on the school's strong tradition of excellence, thought leadership, and community engagement, our goal is to develop innovative and scholarly exhibitions, publications, and public programs that foster inclusive platforms for presentation, discussion, and inquiry into the urgent questions and concerns of our time. A commitment to social justice shapes our work that we hope inspires new ways of looking, making, and thinking. The gallery is housed in a 6,000 square foot exhibition space, which is located in downtown Ann Arbor. Every year, we present 2 to 4 student exhibitions and 3 to 5 exhibitions with renowned artists and designers working locally, nationally, and internationally. And all of our exhibitions are complemented by a number of public programs. This evening, following opening remarks from the Penny W. Stamps School of Art and Design Dean and a special message from the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs, we will be recognizing each of the artists in the exhibition and then presenting the Envision Award. With that, I will turn it over to the Dean of the Penny W. Stamps School of Art and Design, Guna Natarajan.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. My name is Guna Natarajan, and I'm the Dean of the Stamps School. I'm so happy to be here today and to welcome you to the closing reception and award ceremony for Envision, the Michigan Artists Initiative. In 2018, the Stamps Gallery organized Materials on Hand, the art of Ellen Wilt. This was a retrospective exhibition that included over 50 works of art, the earliest from 1941. Ellen was a prolific artist who, in addition to creating a significant body of amazing art, also spent decades teaching the works of Michigan artists and played an important role in inspiring the next generation of artists in our state. In our many conversations with Ellen and her daughter, Robin Wilt Mendenhall, an artist and educator herself, We talked about emerging artists and ways of supporting them and the arts communities in our state. Ellen shared with me her dream and vision to nurture artists from our state. This encouraged us at the school to work on this initiative to support the development of contemporary artists living and working in Michigan through the Stamps Gallery. Our state is filled with exciting, creative, and innovative artists, and we wanted to create inclusive platforms to shine a light on their work. We are deeply thankful to Alan and Robin for their encouragement in recognizing the important role that the STAMP School could play in this work to highlight the artists of our state. These last 18 months, 20 months, it seems like it's forever, have been a time of great change, one that has caused us to transform our lives and work. Through Envision, it became clear that now, perhaps more than ever before, we must stay resolute in caring for one another and commit to building a robust and inclusive cultural landscape for future generations. We thank Alan and Robin for being catalysts in helping us foster a vibrant ecology for present and future generations of artists in Michigan. I want to heartily congratulate all the artists whose works who have generously shared their works here to see and celebrate today. Michael Dixon, Carole Harris, Nayda Collazo-Llorens, Kylie Lockwood, Darryl DeAngelo Terrell. Congratulations on this incredible exhibition. And if those of you who have not seen it yet, please come and see it. The gallery is still open. Now, I'll turn it back over to Jennifer, who will share a message from Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs Arts Education Program Manager, Chad Swan-Badgerow.
Great, thanks. Gonna give me just a second.
Hi, my name is Chad Swan-Badgerow, and I'm the Project Support Program Manager for the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs. I'm so pleased to be speaking to you tonight for the closing reception and awards ceremony for Envision, the Michigan Artist Initiative. I was able to come to the exhibit a few weeks ago and was so impressed and excited about the high level of work that was on display, and with the huge diversity between pieces being shown. Trumoyi and her staff have done a commendable job of finding such an eclectic and broad range of artists to feature and bring to their Ann Arbor gallery for this inaugural event. Since 1966, when the Michigan Council for the Arts was created, the state of Michigan was recognizing the value and importance of a vibrant arts and cultural sector. The council believes that government has a responsibility to ensure public access to arts and culture throughout the state. And because of that belief, we work hard to make sure that the work we support is public, belonging to every citizen, as we champion arts and cultural organizations, initiatives, and artists in our state. We also work hard to ensure that council programs are rooted in equity, access, and inclusion, because everyone should have the opportunity to engage in programming and feel welcome. Exhibits like Envision are ensuring that that happens. At our core, we believe that arts and culture enrich our lives and are vital to the well-being of our society. Artists, like those featured in this Stamps Gallery exhibit, bring important benefits to Michigan's economy, to our efforts to attract business to the state, and to our tourism industry. This year, MCACA had 67 applications to the project support program, with requests totaling $1.7 million. 63 were awarded funding, including Stamps Gallery. Stamps should be proud to have submitted an application that was competitive and awarded funding through our peer review grant process. Overall, for all of our grant programs, we awarded funding in 72 of the 83 counties in our state and had grants in every congressional district, every Senate district, and 103 of the 110 House districts. Wow. As I toured the exhibit that you're celebrating tonight, I was struck not only by how wonderfully diverse the mediums being featured were, but by the process of mentorship and guidance that Stamps offered to these emerging and mid-career artists. We here at MCACA are so proud to be supporting the work of organizations like Stamps, who are themselves striving to bolster and contribute to the overall ecology for emerging and mid-career visual artists in Michigan. And what a great job that they're doing. Thank you for celebrating Stamps Gallery tonight and their exhibiting artists, and for being a champion for arts and culture in Michigan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chad. Hello, everyone. My name is Shramoy Mitra, and I'm the director of Stamps Gallery. I want to welcome all of you here today, and thank you so much for joining us for this event to really celebrate the exhibition and the award ceremony. I'm so glad that we can be together in our own respective bubbles. So thank you again. So in March 2020, when the world was closing down, Stamps Gallery announced an open call for submissions for emerging to mid-career artists living and working in Michigan, practicing and working in all types of media. The call for submissions received 259 applications from across the state. We then appointed an accomplished jury comprising an artist and alumni, Ken Aptekar, museum professional, museum and collections professional, Loring Randolph, also alumni from Stamps, and curator at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago, Carla Acevedo-Yates, as a jury to review the 259 applications and really make some hard decisions, which was to narrow all the 259 applications down to five finalist artists who were then were then invited to present an exhibition at the gallery. So as mentioned, I thank our jury deeply for their hard work and narrowing it down to five wonderful finalists, Michael Dixon, who are Michael Dixon, Darryl, DeAngelo Terrell, Kylie Lockwood, who's here with us today, as well as Carole Harris and Nayda Collazo-Llorens, who's also here with us today. It has been, of course, I want to also thank the artists for their really hard work and rigor in this. Through the exhibition, we invited, if you have visited the exhibition, or if you haven't, please do. The way we've set up the group show is as five sort of mini solo exhibitions, where we invited each finalist to present, use this opportunity to present a new work, or to really if they had an idea or a dream project that they wanted to explore, to really be able to use this opportunity to do that. And I really want to thank each of the artists for your hard work, your commitment and rigor in sort of bringing your work together from ideas and all of this. So much of this whole process took place virtually, so it feels full circle to end actually the closing reception virtually too. In spite of all those sort of technical and real challenges that we were able to, that they were able to bring their work to fruition in a really incredible way. I also want to thank, of course, as Dean Gunnar mentioned, our visionary supporters, Ellen Wilt and Robin Wilt and Stanley Mendenhall. I want to acknowledge Robin and Stanley, who are here with us today. Thank you for your encouragement and trust with this project. And then, of course, the Andy Warhol Foundation for the Visual Arts and the Michigan Council for the Arts and Cultural Affairs. Our deepest thanks to them for also supporting the exhibition and helping us really expand the reach of the exhibitions through our public programs and publication that's forthcoming. So with that, I'm pleased now to turn it over to my colleagues, Jennifer Junkemeyer-Khan and Joe Rohr, who will now do a little recap and take us through the exhibition at the gallery.
Okay.
Hi, everybody out there in the Zoom universe. My name is Joe Rohr. I'm the exhibitions coordinator and preparator at Stamps Gallery. And I'm pleased to be with you this evening, and I'm pleased to introduce and recognize Albion-based artist Michael Dixon. The imagery in Dixon's paintings, and more recently his sculpture, explores the personal, societal, and aesthetic struggles of belonging to both white and Black racial and cultural identities, yet simultaneously belonging fully to neither. He has been the recipient of numerous awards and grants, including a Pollock Krasner Foundation grant, Puffin Foundation grant, and Blanchard Fellowship. His works can be found in the personal collections of artists Nick Cave and Beverly McIver, and in the Petrucci Family Foundation collection of African art. Dixon has been shown both nationally and internationally at museums, universities, art centers, alternative spaces, and galleries. Dixon is represented by the David Richard Gallery in New York.
I make work about biracial identity. These are some images of me as a kid. When I was younger, my grandfather asked my mother, "Where's that little pickaninny at?" I'm toying around with this word pickaninny. It's a journey through my thoughts and feelings around this word and my personal story and the history of that word in America. You know, I'm biracial. I have a Black parent and a white parent. I don't know my Black parent, who's my father. I'm light complected. I used to have an afro. And so my hair, you know, depending on how my hair was as a kid, you know, people saw my ethnicity in various ways. And that's a space that when I was growing up wasn't, you know, I didn't see people that look like me on the TV. I didn't see people that look like me in the world. And so I think another reason why I make this work is because I think it's important to see yourself in the world. There's a Black context, a white context, but there's a lot of us that are in the middle of that, or kind of straddle both, or neither. So I hope to complicate those conversations. And I think being vulnerable, allowing yourself to tell your story, you know, allows for other people to see themselves. I make work about.
Okay, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Joe. Up next, I'm pleased to introduce and recognize Detroit-based artist Carole Harris. Carole Harris is a fiber artist whose work has redefined and subverted the basic concepts of quilting by extending the boundaries of traditional quilting through inclusion of other forms of stitchery, irregular shapes, textures, material, and objects. Her work has been exhibited extensively nationally and internationally. Her recent exhibitions include solo shows at the Dennis Museum in Traverse City and the Hill Gallery in Birmingham, Michigan. Her work has also been included in group exhibitions at the Cranbrook Museum of Art, Stamps Gallery, and at Sargent's Daughters Gallery in New York. Later this year, Harris has a large-scale retrospective exhibition of her work opening at the Grand Rapids Art Museum.
My work in Envision will be sort of a mini retrospective, probably about the last 20, 25 years. When I first began, it was more traditional quilt-like work. Recent works is more exploration of the materials and of the possibilities of combining different kinds of materials, combining fabric with paper, doing lots of stitching, embroidery, and just all kinds of different layers. I am definitely inspired by the material, and as you can see, I have a lot to play with here. And play is a good word, because that's what I feel like I'm doing here in the studio. It's all about the journey. It's really about, what happens along the way. And that's why a lot of the work that I'm doing now looks old. I purposely do things to the cloth to make it look aged, like I may dye it. I punch holes in things, I burn holes in things. I think of myself as an anthropologist or an archaeologist, and that's what these layers are about. You know, it's about digging up the history. I constantly learn things about fabric that I thought I knew, you know, for years. But I have found that there's stories in cloth, and I like telling those stories. My work in Envision.
Thanks, Jennifer. And thanks again to Carole Harris for your outstanding contribution to Envision. Next, I'm pleased to introduce and recognize Hamtramck-based artist Kylie Lockwood. Kylie Lockwood is an interdisciplinary artist whose work reconciles the experiences of living in a female body with the Western history of sculpture. Her work has been shown at venues across the United States, including MoMA PS1 in Queens, New York, Cranbrook Art Museum in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, Cleopatra's in Brooklyn, New York, and Lord Ludd in Philadelphia, among others. Lockwood's collaborative work, Grafting the Pupil to the Fingertip, 2016, is permanently installed at the Lewis Integrative Science Building at the University of Oregon. Kylie Lockwood is represented by Simone D'Souza Gallery in Detroit.
In my work, I re-explore art historical poses through the use of my body as sculpture. For Envision, I'm specifically looking at the pose and the sculpture of Michelangelo's Pieta. I'm currently pregnant, and so I'm both delving into that personal subject matter and art historical subject matter for multiple reasons. For this sculpture, because this sculpture is so much more of an iconic sculpture, I was actually able to buy postcards and ephemera from this sculpture. One of the things that I'm doing is working with this ephemera and beginning to develop a relationship and explore some of the content and questions that I'm examining myself through these objects. So that's where the work begins. Then there's a lot of planning to figure out how I want to go about readdressing these poses. And then much of that work is I'm pulling casts directly from my body. Then there's a whole stage of mold making. And then through that mold making, I'm then casting sculptures. For me, I mean, one of the best things about being a viewer of art is getting to witness an artist's delving into questions. For me, there's multiple questions that I'm beginning to ask and experiences that I'm exploring through this work. So much of it is delving into unknowns. And so I think that that discovery is both as an artist, but then also as a viewer is one of the best things to get to witness when you look at work. In my work.
Okay. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Kylie. Next, I'm pleased to introduce and recognize Detroit-based artist DeAngelo Terrell. DeAngelo Terrell works at the intersection of photography, video, performance, and text. Their work explores issues of history, displacement, femme identity, sexuality, and gender, amongst other issues. They are a 2021 Black Rock Senegal Artist in Resident and a 2019 recipient of the prestigious Kresge Arts in Detroit Fellowship in Visual Arts. Terrell has performed and exhibited work throughout the United States, including at the Red Bull House of Art in Detroit, the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art in Arizona, the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C., and the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago.
The work that I have in Envision is coming from a body of work that I'm working on since 2015, titled Dion. Dion is my alter ego. Dion is like this high femme version of myself, stemming from conversations around desirability, sexuality, Black fat, queerness, feminist, and like just like how to exist in this world in a body that's not necessarily celebrated. As of recently, when I look at a lot of work by queer artists, the body types that are often viewed are often like skinny, toned, tall, conventionally attractive. Rarely do we see bodies that are not the norm. I'm hoping that people see this work and they start to just like question themselves, like challenge their thought processes. Dion allows me to have these conversations that I wouldn't feel comfortable having as Darryl. So now I'm having conversations about sex in a way that to me is a bit more vulnerable in the public space. I'm able to talk about how men degrade femmes. I'm able to talk about catcalling. I'm able to really just be more candid and more vulnerable with putting a fat Black queer femme non-binary person on a pedestal so they can be celebrated, but also have these conversations of what it means to be wanted.
Jennifer, and thank you again to DeAngelo Terrell for your incredible work on this exhibition. Last but certainly not least, I am pleased to introduce and recognize Kalamazoo-based artist Nayda Collazo-Llorens. Nayda Collazo-Llorens' work examines the way in which we perceive and process information, dealing with concepts of navigation, memory, language, hyperconnectivity, and noise through her interdisciplinary creative practice. Her work has been exhibited at El Museo del Barrio in New York, the Mattress Factory in Pittsburgh, Museum of Latin American Art in Long Beach, the Patricia and Philip Frost Art Museum in Miami, and the Bass Museum of Art in Miami Beach, among other national and international galleries and institutions. Her work is featured in many publications and has been reviewed in the New York Times, Art News, Art Nexus, and Bomb Magazine.
The title of the work is Rupturing. So from rupture, from collapse, breakup. It's a 3-channel video installation. I've been working on these drawings recently, some of which I have right here. And the video installation came from the drawings. You know, it's this abstract works where I've been working with multiple kinds of visual languages, different kinds of marks that don't necessarily go together. So there's these floating screens that at the same time they're showing these floating marks that are moving. And so there's something about questioning what is it that we're seeing, or trying to both navigate the space and what we're seeing, but also about finding our place or getting lost in it, you know? When I talk about rupture or what's rupturing, it could go from the failed systems as we are witnessing, you know, whether it's the economic, capitalism, or ecological, the breaking of it also allows for some sort of transformation. You know, I'm thinking of it as a process, as a process that it's not just rupturing to put it back together, but it's rupturing as in this is a necessary process, you know, to upend or to change or to transform things.
Okay, so now I'd like to invite back and turn it over to Stamps Gallery Director Srimali Mitra.
Thank you so much, Jennifer and Joe. I'd like us to take a moment to applaud each of the artists. Thank you for your great work. And it's been such a pleasure to work with all of you. And so now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. So the inaugural exhibition of Envision opened to the public on November 12th, 2021. Our jurors came back together this time in person for the first time through all their deliberations for the final deliberation. So they attended the wonderful opening reception, met with each of the artists, had time to sort of really have some long conversations and really take time to see the work. The day following the opening, the jurors, we came back together with the jurors for these deliberations. and to determine the winner of the 2021 Envision Michigan Artist Initiative Award. On December 10th, we announced the jury's decision, and I will read and I quote, I'll read their statement. We are pleased to announce Nayda Collazo-Llorens as the winner of Envision Michigan Artist Initiative Award 2021. Collazo-Llorens offers fresh perspectives of contemporary art in the age of hyperconnectivity and isolation. In Rupturing, a 3-channel video installation, Collazo-Llorens brought together her experience with animation, drawing, and sound design, and layering it with her interests in mapping, navigation systems, and language. The 3-channel mesmerizing video that resulted explores urgent themes of collapse, disruption, and Earth's transformational potential to begin again. Congratulations, Nayda. It has truly been an honor and a great pleasure to work with you and to learn more about your practice over the last sort of year that we worked together, and really gratifying to see how the entire project came together from our conversations to the exhibition. So to mark this occasion, we have a little memento to share with you. So here's the box. Here we go. Nayda, this is for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. There's an actual thing.
Yeah,
wow.
I hope we could, we joked about having a 3D copy, a copy, but yes, that will come to you along with, of course, the $5,000 award for you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'd like to invite you to say a few words, if you.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be brief, but I do want to express, how excited I am about first having been one of the 5 finalists and being part of the exhibition. But of course, I'm thrilled about the award and happily accept it, Srimoyi. I'll take the opportunity to thank the Stamps School of Art and Design and the Stamps Gallery for the initiative, and the jurors, Carla Acevedo-Yates, Ken Aptekar, and Lauren Randolph. I want to thank specifically Srimoyi, Jennifer, and Joe at the gallery, who have been so supportive throughout the entire process, and also for organizing not just the exhibition, but all the events related to it, including tonight's event. I know it's been wild, a bit of a roller coaster between, in person or not. So I appreciate that quite a bit. And Joe, thank you in particular for being so generous with your installation expertise and attention to detail that I absolutely appreciate. Thanks a lot. And let's see, special thanks to Patricia Villalobos-Echeverria, who's around there in the Zoom, for her love and support, but also for helping me build the screens for the piece. And one last thank you to sound designer Herman Pearl, aka Soy Sauce, for his help also with the audio component of the work, cleaning it up and making it sound a lot better than what my editing achieves alone. So I appreciate that, and well, I'm grateful to all of you, and I feel honored by the recognition and the support that the award offers me. So yeah, thanks.
So great. Thank you again, Nayda. It's been a pleasure. and another. So with that, I guess a big thanks to all of you for joining us today, and to celebrate the 2021 Envision Michigan Artist Award winner and the exhibition, all the artists. I want to express my deepest thanks to our supporters, to our funders, really, all of this, would not have happened without your support and encouragement. And of course, the wonderful team at the gallery and all the artists. So we have 1 week left for the exhibition. If please, the gallery is open to the public, so please do come by to catch the exhibition or see it again, if you so desire. And then next week we have our final Envisions conversation happening on Wednesday, January 19th. It will be Nayda in conversation with Joanna Williams, a curator, writer, and director of exhibitions at the Library Street Collective in Detroit. So the event starts at 6 p.m. and we will drop the information about the event in the chat. So please, do register and join us for the conversation. It will be, I'm sure it will be a really good one as well. And we look forward to seeing you all, at the gallery and out in Michigan. Stay well, stay safe, and stay warm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.